Alright folks, so this is a video on one of the classes I've been teaching lately, which is the high cut suppresses. This will probably be a slightly longer video than normally, or just I never shut up. So a couple of key things on this. There's a companion article that I will probably link onto this as I post it or anything else, so check it out or ask me for it and I will send it to you. So I'm not going to go into the details, go read the article on a bunch of stuff. I'm going to kind of review some of the drills or physical actions that you would actually do for this drill to actually put in terms that people will see it and understand it. So first thing I want to go over real quick is our in positions for the high cut. So as we're in the high tog position, whenever you're cutting down and doing the vertical strike, it is not trying to end like this. You are ending like this. If you can go to here to knock a little extra, cool. I get it, it's in the art, but for the purpose of what you're trying to achieve with our drill for body mechanics, this hurts, right? So from on high, boom, we're coming straight down, and we want to end, and I'll show a better angle of that. So from up high, and we're going to end here versus here. Here, wrist broken, constrained. I've pulled tendons in my hand from doing it that way. Variety of pieces, right? From here, the reason we want it to be here is that we can wind our points easier and faster. If you can get here and still do everything, fantastic. Just for the sole purpose of getting people used to it, we're going to start in a safer position, and then once you get more accustomed, you can do it as you want. Other notion is on the footwork. Okay, standard stance is a closed position. Whenever we are extending out a little bit further, the heel comes up, or I'm just more front weighted in one direction. That is going to be called the reversing. Right? It comes on the whole purpose where if we go to Zornhut, all my weight is back here, or a majority of my weight, like 80 percentile, is here, and I can launch forward from it. So the reverse goes both ways, in my personal note. For any time I'm going and I launch and I have my weight going this way, this is the reverse, and I can swap to the opposite. So, a couple of little key notes, and we're going to go over it. So first thing on the targeting is we have those three lines that's in the diagram. So being on high, we're going to come straight down to one of those three lines. If you have a PEL, set your PEL up, and as you're on the high position, just cut to the side of it. Right? This is scalp low, or the scalp line, suppressing line, suppressing line. If you don't have a PEL, you can take a sheet of paper, slap it on your wall, have the three lines onto it, label them suppress, suppress, and the center one scalp, and then you can target as you need to. So a good trick to get started into that, start in a high position, right? And you're just going to turn at the hips and a slight turning of the foot to get there, and you're striking down at all three lines, right? Getting used to the targeting. If you want to cut all the way through, you can. I don't really recommend it, but to get used to movements, do it. Alright, other key things is we're going to focus on is the footwork aspects and how it leads into this all. So, kind of got the targeting diagrams you can play with until you have a partner. It's hard. Footwork, we can practice all the time. So I quote Danzig's entry in my plays, in the article, and so I do personally enjoy it. I've used it to a high percentile fashion. One of my students, Garrett, has really just taken this to a new level and uses it all the time. I believe at SoCal he actually utilized it in every match successfully, with the main goals to stay safe, suppress their strikes, and be able to work from it. So this is not necessarily about always getting you the point, it's about safe fencing, because that's what we're trying to do. Don't die! So, on the entry point, Danzig talks about being from Montag, spring towards them, come to deliver the high strike, and then step off and you can work. So we're going to go into the two variations I wrote into the article on the footwork aspect. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to be in our middle stance, right? Everything's set up, we're on our shoulder. Two ways you can go about doing this. I'll do it one way and I'll show the second way. First way is as I come high, I can just lift my back foot, which is sitting at this 45-ish, 90-ish angle, however we want to describe it. And I turn it up high to get that position. So it's unlocking the hips to a straight on view. And then I can throw my cut while stepping off. Right? So I can be here. Which is generally pretty good for when somebody's approaching you and they're trying to be a little bit more aggressive. Because in that moment, when you're here, you can come up and you can either press into the blade, strike onto the shoulder, strike to the head. You know, have a variety of options. Another part of it is that you can actually do a simple step forward to get you into that reverser position. So I'm in that closed, I'm on the shoulder, I make a slight step forward into the reverser. Now in this reverser, my foot generally comes up, I'm on the ball of my foot. So if I'm here, and now I'm here with the foot raised, and launch, lower cut. Right? The bigger fashions of the footwork is you're getting into that preparatory moment where you have a split second to see what they're going to respond with, and then move accordingly. I like moving in this oblique fashion because it sets me up for follow-ups. It also keeps me moving away from them, and I stay behind my sword. So, secondary actions that come from this, rewind, and then we can thrust in or berserk. We'll go over those real quick. So I'm here, I've sprung up towards it, step to that oblique where I throw the strike. Let's say they parry, you know, or I've struck down to their blade. From here you just simply wind to the inverted and make another step, and thus you have launched with your point forward. So if I can do this on the pedal action. What's kind of really cool is that when you make that wind and that step, it keeps your point back into the target. So I'm going to strike to the side like I'm suppressing, then wind and stab into the pedal. So from here, boom, bound. Do it again. So, it's a simple action. It's where you know you've suppressed, you see you have gained center, right? Wind to take that point and either move a simple step to go that way, passing step if you need to, or in reality, a lot of times I come to here and I just change the weight to this leg and I can stab it. If they press it off, I can work, and all those other options. So that's one secondary action. The second action you can do, which is one I quote a lot, is this working actions. So I'm up high, I've suppressed down, or he's worked at me, boom, and then I can now work underneath, or take the arms. Boom. So, a couple notions. I know it's like a really shitty short video, but if there's any more questions, I have more answers. I do plan on redoing this in a more professional manner. And like I said, it's not everything necessarily on the paperwork, but this is stuff that I generally teach in the class and drill with partners. So this is something you can work on ahead of game. Hope it helps.